Hi, this is Lady Lecture K, and this is a Dreams tutorial. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I had a viewer leave a comment, wanted to know how to make objects appear and disappear, and then talked about flickering lights. Now, they're two slightly different things, but let's have a look at making things appear and disappear. It is very, very simple. Let me just make a sculpt. Okay, so here's my sculpt. When you press L1 and square, it opens up this menu. You've seen this hundreds of times before. And at the very bottom is a power button. Now this power button will make things visible or invisible. You see, when I click it like that, it becomes this transparent shape. Now, this is only transparent in edit mode. So if I was to go into play mode now, you can see you can't see it. Back into edit mode and you can just about see it. And I put the power back on and now you can see it. It is there. So what we want to be able to do in order to make something appear and disappear is to affect this power button. And the easiest way of doing that is to get the animate section and a keyframe. So pop that keyframe down. Now what I want to do is I want to be able to turn it the power on. So I'm going to turn the power off, then I'm going to turn the power on, and then press the record button. So this keyframe here will turn on the power. Let's turn the power off, like so. And so its natural state will be to be invisible because we've turned the power off. But this keyframe will turn the power on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a timeline. Put the keyframe in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up on a 6-second loop. So we've got a loop going, and here's 6 seconds worth. So it's going to have the square visible and then not visible. Let me just move that exactly to 3 seconds. So visible, then not visible, and then back and forth and back and forth. So if we go back into play mode, you can see it there, and then it's gone, and then it's there, and then it's gone. Okay, so that's how to make an object appear and disappear, and you can use this keyframe. So let's take it out of his timeline. You can use this keyframe in lots of different ways. So for example, I could put down a trigger zone. So let's put the trigger zone down here. Let's make it a bit bigger, like that. Let's put down a character model. Put down our puppet. Okay, so it's going to detect the puppet, and we will wire up the detected to our keyframe. We don't need that open. And let's see what happens. So here is our puppet. We cannot see anything, but if we move into the trigger zone, it appears like so. There we go. You get too close to it, it obviously disappears. That right. So there's that. But we're talking about flickering lights, so we'll just delete everything. Let's just check. There's our invisible cube. Let's just delete it. Right, okay. This is how you preview invisibility, by the way. If something is invisible, powered off, if you untick that, then you can see it. It's a very strange, counter intuitive, that. So you unclick it in order to see it, which is a bit strange, but anyway. Right. So flickering lights. Turning lights on and off is very, very simple to do. So let's find ourselves a lamp. And there we go. We've got a nice lamp post here. Okay, this has got a light on it, and it's visible all the time. This light. Let's move that up. Okay. So if we want to make this light flicker a bit, as you can see at the moment, it's sort of moving around. It's a flame. What we need to do is select the flame. So we're in. This is our sculpture. Just check. There's the glow for the sculpture. Okay. If you want to make a flicker, there's lots of ways of doing it. So again, let's get into animation. Let's try an action recorder this time. We'll put an action recorder down, and I'm just gonna fiddle about with that like that. There we go. And we'll make this loop, which it does naturally. And so that is the light flickering. Okay, it's not sort of on and off, it's sort of, depending on what you do, this is sort of flickering away. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is to do our keyframe. So let's pop our keyframe down. Let's get rid of the glow. And we could create a timeline. Now this will create a flicker that is regular. It's a regular flicker. So we're gonna just do something like this. And we'll put that on a loop. As you can see, that is flicking when it hits the keyframe. It just sort of flickers. Let's make them a little bit bigger so they last a little longer with the turning off. There you go, you can see. There we go. So you could do that just on a regular timeline on the loop, and you can get your flickering going. Or here is our timeline. Let's get our keyframe, and we could use a signal generator. So let's see what happens. With this. That turns off and then on, and then off, and then on. And this is the pause time is random between that and that, so you can make it much faster. There we go. So that's going in and out with the signal like so, and you can play about with this and try and get a signal going that is flickering away how you want it to be. Okay, that's slightly more complicated and I find quite difficult to do. So why is our light off? Okay, so yeah, so the keyframe turning it off, and we want it to randomly flicker away. Like I say, I think it's probably all these different methods to do it, but you can animate. Oh, we've got it open already. You can animate a bit in here. Whoops. So we can give it a throb. So then we've got that sort of throbbing away like that, which is a little bit odd for that. So let's get rid of that. There's a wave that will make it flicker a bit, evaporate. That gives it a strange effect. Or we've got flow here, and that gives you sort of a regular sparky look to the flame. And then you've got boil, which makes it sort of a bit flamey, like it's burning, which I think is probably, if you're going to have a naked flame, that one works quite well. And you don't even need a wave on as well, or a flow on, or the evaporate on. There we go, that's quite good. Look at that. That makes it flicker. So there we go. Lots of different ways that you can do the same thing. Keyframes, get used to using keyframes because they're really, really useful. A keyframe on any object, you can change pretty much every attribute of it. You can change the color, so I can make it blue with a keyframe. I can change the shininess of it with a keyframe, the waxiness of it, so that you can make the whole thing look completely different. The hue cycle can be changed. You can make the whole thing glow. There's also inner properties of a sculpt that can change the way it looks texturally. Fleck properties, so you can make it sort of dissolve. That sort of thing can be quite useful for making things go blurry and things like that. So there's lots of things you can do with a keyframe. So play about with keyframes, and what did I set that one to do? Not much. So there we go. That's the way to turn things on and off, make things flicker, make things disappear and reappear. Hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.